So yeah, still haven't cleaned up my room. A little bit of dirt on my face. But here we go. It's daily Stoic reading. I think I'm on daily Stoic reading 20 today, something like that. So looks lived in this apartment. Yeah. Okay. Today's a big one, so let's get prepared. Okay, Maxims from 3 Wise Men. For any challenge, we should hold 3 thoughts at our command. Lead on God and destiny. To that goal fixed me for a long time. I will follow and not stumble, even if my will is weak, and I will shoulder. Even if my will is weak, I will soldier on. That's Clethis. Whoever embraces necessity. Oh my God, I cannot talk. And I do these things knowing that I'll fumble and not be able to speak very well, and I do them, and I force myself to do them, even if I look like an idiot, because it's like, well, if I want to look less like an idiot, I just have to do it better, and force myself to be better, and better, and better, and not make excuses, so yeah. Also, I got lucky. I got a $10 donation yesterday, and then after all the YouTube tax bullshit, I get like $5 of that. It's really great. Fuck you, YouTube. I mean, yeah. Whoever embraces necessity count as wise, skilled, and divide matters. Euripides. If it pleases a god, so be it. They may well kill me, but they can't hurt me. Epictetus? Okay, these are 3 quotes compiled by Epictetus. Show us in wisdom across history the themes of tolerance, flexibility, and ultimately acceptance. The other 2 evoke destiny and fate as concepts that help us ease acceptance. When one has a belief in a greater or higher power, be it God or gods, then there is no such thing as event going contrary to plan. Even if you don't believe in a deity, you can take some comfort in the various laws of the universe, or even as the circle of life. What happens to us as individuals can seem random or upsetting or cruel or inexplicable, when in fact these events make perfect sense when our perspective is zoomed out, even just slightly. Let's practice this perspective today. Pretend that each event, whether desired or unexpected, was willed to happen. Will it specifically happen for you? Would you fight that? Okay, I'm going to reread this. Pretend that each event, whether desired or unexpected, was willed to happen. Willed specifically for you. You wouldn't fight that, would you? Okay, so now here's where I get personal. See, I read the quote, I read the Ryan Holiday thing, and then I add to it, if I do have something to add to it, you know. Maybe we go from prehistoric or very ancient knowledge, then to Ryan Holiday, then to me. So the 3 levels of understanding, I guess. So anyways, I'm in pilot school, where I've been working on my private pilot lesson, and the 2 schools I was looking at, you can pay hourly, and unlike schools in Quebec, you had to buy a big package, and you had to basically give 20 grand all at once. Which actually, very glad you don't have to do in Manitoba, because my first school, hell, I'll even name these people, because Harv's Aviation is a bigger school. They've got more mechanics, they've got people that fuel the planes, they've got a big heated they've got a big heated hangar, so the planes come out nice and warm in the morning. And I had my gripes with that school 2 years ago when I was at it, but nothing's perfect, and sometimes I felt certain people there were not the best customer service, and yada yada yada. And it's like, you're spending a lot of money to go to these places. It's like, back then it was $220 an hour. Now it's $275. It's very, very expensive. But all in all, I think Harv's was a big, clean facility. It had nice classrooms, and there was 2 front desk people, and they seemed very friendly. And today, this weekend, I booked a flight with an instructor at Winnipeg Aviation, because a lot of people said give Winnipeg Aviation a try. And then I'm booking one. I have one booked tomorrow with a different instructor at Harv's. And I was choosing this weekend to God or the universe will kind of guide me, and which one should I choose? And hopefully tomorrow works out because today was hilariously disappointing. Let me explain. My instructor showed up 45 minutes late, so didn't even really seem to give a shit either. So I'll really explain it. And so basically, when I get there, I show up like 20 minutes early, and like no one's there, no receptionist, nothing. And the receptionist on the phone said I could like come talk, ask her a lot of questions, and she didn't happen to be there. Whatever, fine. And then it turned out she was like in the lunchroom. That's fine. That's cool. This stuff does not bother me because whatever. And then when she got there at like 11:20, I was like, oh hey, like is I know she was one thing. Oh, your instructor's gonna be a little bit late. Because the times got jagged because some of the planes came out late because they were crowded and we had to de-ice them. And I said, okay, that's fine. I understand. So then it just seemed like my time slot was going to shift back, but I was still going to get the same amount of time. That's how she explained it. And then, okay, so 11:30 is my appointment. And so it's like 11:45. That's fine. They said it would be late. So it's not until like 12 he gets back, so half an hour late, not 15, so half an hour. And it's not like the instructor rushes out to greet me. This is my first possible day at this school, and this is a place I'm hopefully choosing to spend 20 or 30 grand on getting my commercial pilot's license at. And so you think like a little bit of customer service. And so the instructor comes, doesn't even say hello. He's like, oh, you're the Mac guy, right? Oh, I heard you had some flight experience. No, like, hey, how are you? Shake your hand. Hey, welcome to the school. Happy to have you. How's your day going? None of that. He was running around outside just talking to other people. And like some random dude was like, oh, hey, there's no dipstick in this thing. And I like before he left, he was like, hey, just go check out the plane. Like, go do the pre-flight check. And I said, like, dude, like, I need your help with that. It's been 2 years. I don't remember what to check for. This is like I'm restarting from scratch basically because it's been 2 years since I've flown. And like it was just like I don't quite have the memory for everything and I don't want to miss anything and make dangerous flight kind of thing. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll be right back. And then he spends another 15 minutes just like running around outside talking to people. Like it was like hilarious. I'm like, I must be in like a Simpsons cartoon. Like this is hilarious how bad this is. And then he comes back in. And so I think at this point it's like 12:20. And I'm getting a little agitated. Oh, and there's this like sign-in thing where you have to create a password and you have to fill out some stuff to be able to log in to kind of check out a plan. So when I phoned days before, no one told me about this, that I had to set this up. When I was sitting there for basically an hour, I feel like the receptionist could have told me about this, but no, now the instructor's finally back and finally helping me ready to go. And Oscar's having a poop right now, and that's okay. He's a good boy. So it's just like frustrating because it's like now we're down to like less than 45 minutes. And why this sucked is because it's like, okay, so then we finally get going, and like the guy's slow, he's really taking his time, like there's no rush. And then another dude is there, like a customer who I guess must have had his license. He's like, oh, can you check me out? So now my instructor, who were like 45 minutes late to the lesson, nothing has started. The lesson has not started. Out of my hour and a half, 45 minutes of it has been wasted already. And then he continues to just like, oh yeah, sure, I'll check it out. And then spends another 5 minutes. So now it's like I'm down to 40 minutes. And like it's even less than that at this point. And like I'm really itching to get going. I haven't flown in 2 years. And then so this guy, we finally get going, and like because it's the first flight, you got to do the flight check and you got to do a run up where you like heat the engine up and you check all the systems. So and the way it works in pilot training is it's from when you start the engine to turn the engine off is the hours in the plane. So the flight check and the run up that takes, so I have half an hour left, like actually a little bit less than half an hour at this point. I think I had like 25 minutes. So like 15 minutes of that. Oh, and then here's what the kicker was. Before we went up, he said, oh, we can't come back past 1 because I know the next person and I don't want to cut into their time with the plane. So it's like, oh, my plane got cut in by 45 minutes. My time with the plane and the instructor got cut in by 45 minutes. But let's not do that to the next person. Because clearly I'm just a piece of shit and chicken soup or something, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of fun. It's like all these signs from the. I actually should have just left. Because this was bullshit. Like, and instructors get paid by, like, the hour of the plane, too. It's like, you know, man, you don't fucking deserve my money or time. This is complete bullshit how you're acting. Like, this is. And I found, like, a lot of flight schools are like, oh, well, you know, better like our way or the highway. That's fine. And because people are lining up to do this. So supply and demand, I guess they can get away with this attitude. But like, I've never, and actually, people at Winnipeg Aviation openly bashed Harv's Air, which was just across the hangar, for being hoity-toity and stiff-necked. And I maybe made it a little awkward when I said, like, yeah, okay, they can be a little bit more uptight and more strict with the rules, but no one from that school has ever been 45 minutes late. Like, I mean, there was one time, I remember with my first solo flight, an instructor at Harv's, like not my guy, but the guy, one of the supervisor instructors, I'm patiently waiting, ready to go, and he like waltzed in 10 minutes late, and I could see him in the hall, like talking to a student. He's like, oh, sorry, I just was really interested in talking to this old student of mine. It's like, I'm getting ready to do my first like flight test ever, so I'm like really itching to go, and it's just like, oh, sorry, yeah. So that was like the worst. That was 10 minutes, not 45 minutes. It was really rude, and someone else apologized on his behalf, and they're like, yeah, that shouldn't happen. That's actually bullshit. But at least the school was aware and like, yeah, that was unprofessional. That was not cool. I was like, okay, whatever, shit happens. But back at this Winnipeg Aviation today, it was just complete bullshit because then like a good 15 minutes is spent to the run up. So I need to like, see, now I'm gonna look ignorant. But a lot of this was, and then we taxied. And I would say most of my time spent was taxiing and doing run ups. And so out of like the half an hour of hour I got, like, I would say like 20 or 22 minutes of it was taxiing on the runway. And I go up and I did one circuit. So that means one fly around the airport really quick. And so I had to pay $133 to do about 5 minutes of flying, or 5-10 minutes, not even, because when we're flying, he did most of the flying. So I basically paid $133 today to basically do no goddamn flying. Like, yeah, so anyways, that was extremely disappointing. But then I'm like, I thought of like, maybe this is the universe telling me to not be go to the school. And I actually talked to people who've done it both, Harv's and Winnipeg Aviation. And a lot of, the consensus, some people thought Winnipeg Aviation was better, some people thought Harv's. But like, if I were to compare what everyone said, I would say the consensus is that Winnipeg Aviation is a lot sloppier of an academy. And they don't, like, Harv's can they have a lot of students, so it's hard to remember all the students and hard to be that more personable. Winnipeg Aviation can be more personable with you, but like, I don't know. And like, the receptionist, I phoned the receptionist at Winnipeg. No, I would say actually like Winnipeg Aviation is a lot sloppier than Harv's, and Harv's is more well put together and has better customer service and seems to actually give a shit. But I don't know, this was my first experience, and I phoned, not to complain, but I did at the end of the day say to my instructor, it's like, look, my time is valuable. I work 50 hours a week, and I can only do this 2 days a week. And weather in the winter interrupts flying as much as it does anyways, which is a lot, which is like, in my past experience, it's like 50% of the time, Oscar just bumped my camera, 50% of the flights get canceled because of bad weather in Winnipeg, and like, it's too cold, so it's too hard on the engine, and it's like, it'll ice up, or there's too much humidity. So there's a lot of factors, or there's too much wind. So there's a lot of factors that can cancel a flight. But today was perfect weather, and I said, and it was wasted. I flew for 5 minutes today because of lateness and stuff that had nothing to do with me and nothing at my fault of my own. And it's like, I have 2 days a week to work on this. So those are a lot of days that things might get canceled. And today was a perfect opportunity. And a perfect opportunity for us to test to see if we could work together. And, oh, sorry, man, sometimes that's just how it goes. It's like, no, if you were actually gave a shit about your job and gave a shit about your future students or your students and didn't like need to walk around and talk to people while someone's waiting for you to instruct them. That guy's name was Dan. That was actually pathetic and complete bullshit, actually. And when I phoned to ask, I said like, hey, so my lesson with the receptionist, Haley, I phoned and I asked and I said like, is this normal that this happened? And like she kept refusing to answer if it was normal or not. And I just said like, look, like there's other schools to go to and it's a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of I'm pulling out money and like getting money loaned to me so I can do this and I want to do this, but it's going to be impossible to be able to do this if this is how it is. Is this a regular occurrence? And she refused to answer me. And I just said, okay, but so this happens. She's like, well, I don't know how to answer that question. I'm going to get a CFI to phone you. And I just said, okay, like, it upset me, and I want to know what I can do in the future to prevent this from happening. Is anything in my control? And I don't like how you're talking to me. And clearly, this is a person who I guess maybe um, everyone must talk perfectly sweet to her all the time. Maybe that's what it is. Like, the gripe of being that everyone wants to talk to you is everyone talks to you super sweet all the time. I don't know. And I just said like I was like, and she's like, I can't handle you. I'm getting the CFI to phone you. And I said, okay, but like what did I say to upset you? Like what did I? You're being mean. What did I say that's mean? Can you tell me? And she said, I said, did I yell? Did I call you a name? Did I raise my voice? Did I say something mean? Well, no, it's just your tone. I said, what about my tone? She said, well, you're pissed off. You said you were upset and pissed off. I said, well, yeah, like I felt like I wasted money today. I felt like I said, how does me having a negative emotion negative towards you? Like I'm not taking it out on you. I'm not even too mad at the instructor. I'm just saying like I'm wanting to know, is this a regular occurrence? Is this going what's going to happen every single time? And I don't know how to answer that. I said, well, is this normal? And she didn't want to answer that. So I said, if you're not answering, this is making me assume that this happens every single time with students. Well, no, that's not true. And it was just like super defensive and just like, well, that's just how it goes. And that's the way it is. It's like, so obviously, students at this school all the time, based on what she said, because students at this school all the time, 45 minutes, the instructors are 45 minutes late. So that's what I'm getting. So I'm just like, okay. And she hung up and was like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not dealing with this. Okay, fine. Like, I actually wish I recorded the call. This was like the most insane phone call I've ever, not, okay, not the most, but like, it was like, I've never, like, honestly, I feel like times when it's gone bad with customer service, it's like, okay, well, maybe I was in the wrong. Maybe I got mad too quick. And I like, someone was in the car. They're like, dude, like, you were perfectly nice. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, she just, like, went from 0 to 100. And, like, I don't know. It's strange. And I was told that the CFI would phone me, Dan, the owner. And he didn't today. So I guess they really don't give a shit that someone like had a bad experience, bad first experience. It's not like I did 10 lessons with them and someone showed up late, 45 minutes late once. This was the very first impression. Kind of like, you know, with like first dates, you kind of want to be on your best behavior, not like your absolute worst. And I don't like, honestly, like, I've never had such bad customer service. And considering like aviation school is so bloody expensive, you think like people would be top notch and like it's like I don't know, barista at Starbucks. I buy a $5 coffee and it's like, hey, how are you? How's it going? I got more conversation out of the barista today at Starbucks than I did with this guy. Like it just seemed like he barely cared and just slowed and give a shit and like yeah, so this going back to the Daily Stoic, it's like this it's like maybe this event happened so that I know to go back to Harv's because I've never had something ridiculous like this happen at Harv's. I mean, one time they lost one of my things of paperwork and they found it like a week later. And that's a gripe of having a lot of students, a lot of paperwork, but like they were pretty sorry about it. Like they were like, "Oh, we're sorry," and it's just like I basically, you know, with my gripe and question about like why did my instructor show up 45 minutes late, I was just told, "Oh, you're rude." It's like I didn't like call her a fucking bitch or something. I was like, "Why did this happen?" And oh well, you know, like we just like to help each other here. I was like, "Great, so." Why was he 45 minutes late again? Like what why did my lesson start 45 minutes late? Like no one else's lesson started 45 minutes late that I saw. Like, this is insane. And maybe it's bad that I posted about this. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe make a full review video, because like this was insane. And like, and everyone I talked to was like, no, that's insane. Like, they're like, would you go in there and call someone a fucking bitch or something for them to do that? I was like, no. And I don't know, it's weird, because like people that are like I was with after this happened, they're like, no, like you have a right to be mad. I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, and I guess like aviation's very hoity-toity, and it's like, oh, extra polite no matter what. It's just like, well, no, because I don't know, like, why is like, and there's people. It's like, for example, like I gave up working a weekend shift, and I would have gotten paid double time the whole day. So it's like I could have made like $500-600 today. So I gave that up because I really wanted to go flying today. And then I get treated like this, and then I pay $133 to fly. I have like airtime of like 5 or 6 minutes. Like, it is insane. But yeah, anyways, I don't need to go write an email or something. I don't know, because dude was supposed to phone me. Guess he doesn't give a shit. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye. Maybe I'll regret talking about this, and yeah. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe.